All right. Well, thank you guys for hopping on our TLC team call tonight. We are excited to chat with you a little bit more about Instagram. We said this was kind of going to be like Instagram like 1.0, with the whole thought of like showing you how to make connections, build trust and relationships on Instagram, but like kind of move that conversation along too. We're going to talk about posting and your profile and your bio. We're also going to cover a little bit of like connecting with people via Instagram stories. If you have questions in the chat, you're welcome to ask them as we go along. We'll try and answer questions. And then when we've covered some basics, we are going to pick like 5 to 7 accounts. We'll see how we're doing on time. I will do a screen share. We will be pulling up your account live right here on the call and giving you like some immediate feedback on what you're doing well, and maybe just some tips for you of new things you can implement and start doing to make your account that much better. So Sam, you want to kick it off? I know you kind of had a list of some of the stuff we were going to cover.
Yeah, so I don't know the best way to do this. I'll talk it out, and then if you guys have questions on like what I'm saying, then I can maybe share my screen. So the things I was going to cover, number one was how to find people, because once you start to grow your account, it's always awesome when you hope people come to you and they message you and they actually drop their emails when you say drop your email, little things like that. But it took a long time for that to actually happen. And even still, I do so much outreach of my own on Instagram. And so I was just going to cover with you guys how I go about finding people on Instagram. So there's really 2 or 3 main ways that I do it. Number one is hashtags. Now, I find hashtags that are not health and fitness related, and I do that on purpose. I find that if I'm searching for like hashtag fitness journey or anything like that, I stumble across lots of coaches or lots of people that are already well into their journey, like loving what they do, or some variation of that. And I would rather talk to people who are equally obsessed with coffee as I am, or who equally love their red wine on a Friday night, or who maybe live in Hawaii and I want to travel to Hawaii. Anything like that. So that's what I search for. I search for not health and fitness, but things that I am posting about. And we'll probably get into profiles a little bit later, but I always try and have a coffee post as one of my top 3 or definitely top 6 images. So when someone goes to my page, they see, if they don't scroll at all, they should see the top 6 pictures. So if I search for hashtag coffee addict and I'll start to, comment on their posts, the whole idea is that if we are super genuine with our comments and liking them and even following them, that they're then going to come to our page. And so they're going to see, okay, she's not a total creep. She also posts about coffee every single day. So that's just a little tip on what to search for. Think of what you're posting. So if you're only posting about your health and fitness journey, I don't know, think of something else to post about. Maybe even if it's pizza or unicorns or your sisters or anything at all that makes you relatable, that you could talk to anybody about. Like I see Coley right now. She works at Trader Joe's. She could probably talk to anybody that loves Trader Joe's or works at Trader Joe's or knows of Trader Joe's. So like maybe post about Trader Joe's, like either you're working there or cool, I know they have like random really like featured products, little things like that, like cheeses they have, delicate cheese, whatever they're called. So like things like that. So then you can go search like hashtag Trader Joe's lovers, something like that. And then the next step, right? So cool, you found a whole bunch of people by hashtags. And sorry, before I get into that, another way is stories. Stories now you can do off of pretty much anything. When you go to, let's just say it's hashtag coffee addict or hashtag good morning Toronto. So I live near Toronto, kind of. It's like an hour and a half away. So I search for that because I'm kind of close to there and I can tag that location. And then say I search for that tomorrow morning, there will be a story of the hashtag of other people that use that hashtag in their stories. So then I watch the story, and then you can just click underneath like the hashtag Good Morning Toronto, and then go to that person's page and see if they would be a cool person or not. So that's how you do stories. Stories is also locations. So if I tag or even search Toronto, Ontario, they will have a story. You can search for the stories. And then the location search is I search for coffee shops in Toronto, in Belfast, Ireland, in anywhere. There are more coaches in the Northeast than there are in all of Canada, at least as of a year ago. So I am so focusing on still Canada because it's hugely untapped, and the UK. So I literally, the other day, I Googled top coffee shops in Belfast, and then I just went to them. So like, I don't know these, don't think that I have some power that you guys don't have. I Google and then apply it to Instagram. So that's how I find people, hashtags, stories, or locations. And then the next step is the most important step because, I mean, hopefully they come to our page, but even if they do, very rarely do people actually comment on other people's posts unless they're really invested. So to make that happen, I comment super genuinely, and I try and make it at least 2 sentences. I used to just say like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love your coffee mug. Now I would say, I love your coffee mug. It's so cute. Where is it from? I just try and like make it personal so they're like, wait, who is Samantha Says? And then maybe they're going to click on me. Then I go to their message them. If you follow them, and at this point in my business, I'm only following people and finding people that I truly think would be a really good coach or a really good potential prospect that would turn into a challenger. So I follow almost everyone that I find, and then I message them. And if you're not following them, you just click the 3 dots in the upper right and then click send message. And then I just continue the conversation about whatever we're talking about. So for coffee, I'd say, hey, I know I just commented on your page, but your mug was so cute. Where is it from? Or, hey, I posted about this in TLC. Hey, I don't even know how I stumbled across your page, but I'm totally loving your vibe. Where'd you get your t-shirt? Where's your coffee mug from? What's the name of your dog? Anything, just like start the conversation. So I always just say hi, and then I end with a question to get them to respond. I have tried it where I just say, I don't even know how I stumbled upon your page. I hope you don't mind an extra fangirl follow. That gets a good response too, but you're almost guaranteed a response if you then say, are you also, if they post about health and fitness, I'll say, are you also a fitness coach or something like that? And they always say, no, I'm not. I'm just a lover of fitness. And then you go right to that's a different topic. So that's how I start the conversation. And then also, if you guys are doing stories, I like reach out to everybody on Instagram, even if they scroll by my photo. If I could see that, then I would reach out to them. So that's how I find people and reach out to those people. What to say to the people who like your recruiting posts. So I actually just did a recruiting post earlier tonight, and I'm asking people to drop their emails. If they do, awesome. If they just like it, tomorrow I'm going to be sending a message. And lately I've been doing it in a video message within Instagram. It's only 15 seconds because it cuts you off at 15 seconds. And I will, if I want to personalize it, I'll say their name. Or for you busy people, just do a super like, hey girl, standard one that you could just send to everybody. But for anyone who likes my recruiting posts, I just say, hey girl, thank you so much for liking my post about the coaching opportunity. Were you at all interested in learning more about that, or were you just being on short and sweet? Or, hey Leslie, thank you so much for liking my post about my upcoming virtual fitness group. Were you interested at all in learning more about that, or were you just being awesome and supporting me? That's what I say to every single person who likes a recruiting post. Short and sweet, and I think if you can do a video message, it just makes it that much more personal. Even if you're just saying, hey girl, they can see you, they can hear you, and they're way more likely to respond versus not responding in a text post. And you'll notice too that I always say, or something else, like, or were you just being awesome and supporting me? Or were you just catching a glimpse of my journey, or no, or is now not a good time. That way, I'd say 90% of the time I get a response because I give them an option to tell me no. If I just say, does that interest you? I don't get responses. So that's a little tip. And then lastly, what I say to people who watch my stories. I don't know if you guys track who's watching your stories. I wouldn't say I necessarily track them because it's kind of a lot of people, but I go through, and when you're in your stories, let me make sure I'm telling you the right thing. In the bottom left, it'll say seen by 14 people or seen by however many people. You can click that, and then it tells you who is watching your story. So I click into each person. If I know they're a coach, I'm going to obviously scroll by, but I click into each person, and first I go to their page just to make sure they're not a coach from somewhere on our team or anywhere. They're not outside of the US, Canada, or UK, right? So I check those qualifications, and then I send a message that says, hey girl, or hey Jackie, I see you watching my stories, or if you're doing a poll, I see you commenting on my poll about coffee or whatever. Thank you so much for watching my journey. Were you at all interested in learning more about my workouts or what I do as a coach, or are you just being awesome and catching a glimpse of my life? So that is a little bit more open-ended. Here's the thing though, you have to be posting about your workouts and coaching in order for any of that to make sense. Like if I was just posting about my dog, he would be like, no, and maybe block me. So make sure that you're sharing what it is that you do as a coach. And then when you do reach out, you can first say like, hey, I saw you watching my stories, or I saw you commenting on my poll. And you can relate to them too. Like, I too have a coffee addict. And people probably really think I do because it's always my example. And maybe I do. But, say something about that, relate to them a little bit, and then go into were you at all interested in learning more about my fitness groups or the coaching lifestyle, or were you just being awesome and catching a glimpse of my journey? 9 times out of 10, people say I was just catching a glimpse of my journey. Half of those people end up signing up because I think people are afraid to say that they're interested. And when someone says that they're just watching my journey, I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I go to their page, see what they post about, and ask a question. So continue the conversation. Really, all I want is a response. Whether they say yes or no to anything, if they say yes, cool, I'll give them more information. If not, I say, oh, thank you so much that you like my journey, or you like my dog, or whatever. And then I just ask a question to continue that conversation. And then I just follow the scripts there's tons of scripts, you guys, in the photo albums page that I just follow to a T. So if you wonder what I say when I invite them or throughout the whole conversation, you can reference that. But that's all I've got.
Okay, I have 2 questions. So one came up in the chat and they said, I didn't know you could send video via DM, but you can. So do you send a new 15-second video to every person, or do you record one, save it, and then send the same video to everyone you want to message?
Okay, so I do mostly standard ones, but you will come across people who like your posts that you may have already invited or you've already been connecting with. So if it's one of those people, like you already have had some sort of conversation with them, then I'll personalize it. And I think if you can personalize it, it's better because obviously it's much more personal, but you can also bring up the past. So I've invited people and they've ignored me, and I'll address that. I'll say, I know that I invited you last month, but it wasn't great timing. I saw you liked my post. Are you interested in learning more now? And I think just highlighting the fact that you did invite them is better than just being like, hey girl, and then, I don't know, inviting them. So a little bit of both. If you're super busy and you guys work full time and have kids and all that, I think a standard one is fine, especially because it's still, they get to see your face.
Okay, one other question, just because I know what my DM list starts to look like on a busy day. I don't necessarily care how you track it, but do you track who you're talking to about health or fitness by username as you go on Instagram? So you can find people later, because sometimes I'm like, it's a day later and I'm like, their message is down.
So I have a couple answers and solutions. when I'm sending the story message, so anybody who watches my story, when I'm sending those, that's tons of messages, you guys. Well, I say tons, it's like 50, but I only track them if they respond to me, because I don't know where they're from or what they're looking for. So I only track them if they respond to me. But if anything else I cover, like if I'm finding them on my own via hashtag or location, I do track them just by username. And then I'll add in notes of like, she likes coffee, or she lives in Colorado, or loved her sneakers, or amazing coach prospect. So I'll do little notes like that. But that's kind of my tracking system. And then the way that I get all unread messages is on my MacBook Air. I have the app called Flume, Flume. And in Flume, there's a way that you can filter for all unread messages. So that's super helpful, because doing all this on Instagram, you are guaranteed to like lose messages. And that's the only way I found that you can find unread messages.
Perfect. Yeah, I use Flume too. It's a lot to do all that on your tiny little phone.
It's doable. I hear a lot of times, like a lot of coaches, they like almost blame that they can't do work because they don't have a computer. You can do all of this from your phone. That's what I love about Instagram. It's easier for unread messages. That's the only thing that makes it easier if you have a computer. But everything else you can do on your phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll share my screen for a quick sec and show you Flume. I know it doesn't work on, like, it's only for Macs, right? I think there's a different one for.
There's another one. If you search in the team page, I know this topic has come up before, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'll search while you're sharing and see if I can find it.
So this is the app over here. It's called Flume. And then I already have it filtered on unread messages, but you just click this little icon in the upper right, filter, and then show unread only. And I only use this app for messages, but if you scroll to the bottom, you can do it all. Like, I can go to the home page and just see the explore page. I can go to my page. So you can do all that, but that stuff I personally think is easier to do on my phone. So I just use this for messages. And if you want an idea for a recruiting coaching opportunity post, this is what I did tonight. Super salesy. I don't do help wanted ads like ever, but I realized that that's what I was attracted to when I first signed up to coach. So I'm giving it a try tonight. Any other questions?
Bree was going to look up if there was something similar for PC.
I'm searching the team page because I know it came up. If not, if we don't share it on the call, we will find it and I'll post it in the Instagram photo album along with some of these other apps that we use. So I'll get like a list compiled so it's not so. But if you guys are taking notes or if you're on your computer, just copy paste what I'm like typing into the chat because it's basically step 1, step 2, like broken down. So
there is an app for PC. It's literally just called Instagram. If you go into like the Windows thing in the bottom left, like it's like the 4 square thing, and you go to the Windows Store, if you just type in Instagram, it's a free app that downloads to your PC.
Okay.
Hey, Samantha, how did you make that circle around your stories? I know that Jatana talks about it, but I just watched her video from Kim Carver last night, and she had it as an option, but I don't think she actually touched on it, or at least I must have missed it at some point. So how do you do that, and why would you do that? I noticed that you have it and she has it.
I only do it because it stands out, because not many people have the 2 things, so that's the only reason why I did it. And I hear that there's an app that does it for you. The way I did it, though, is I just took a screenshot of my home page on my phone, so you guys know how to do that. And then I just clicked the picture to upload a new photo, and I just zoomed in. So it was the same picture as before. And you have to take the screenshot when you have a story so that it has the circle. And then that's how you get the 2. That's how I got the 2 circles.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. how much time are you designating between Facebook people and Instagram? All of my like expanding my network efforts and new invites and all of that is all Instagram. I really only use Facebook for people that I'm already connected with over there, but I'm not in any groups or anything like that. Oh yeah, and Coley just said the inner circle means there's a live video. So like yesterday I had a live video as well. So I think I had 3 circles.
So I'll just share a couple things that I have done that have like worked well for me. And again, like they have to fit your brand, like Sam said, you know, for her, it's like coffee shops and stuff. So me, kind of like same thing. I think about like where I like to shop or where my husband and I like to go on like dinner dates. So I will go look at those locations through Instagram and see what other people are tagging themselves like at this store or at this mall or at this cute boutique or at this amazing steakhouse or at this seafood restaurant. And so I mean, it's people out celebrating anniversaries. It's maybe them out shopping with their daughter. Hello, that's what I'm doing. Like I'm on date night or I'm shopping with my daughter. So I will literally start looking through the people that are tagging themselves at those locations too. And I will go look at their profile. And if I'm like, oh my gosh, she's totally cute, or oh my gosh, she's got 2 daughters, or wow, I feel like I connect a lot with her, I will add those people. And I think because they're relatively local to me, I've had pretty good response in them becoming like fast followers more than someone that lives further away from me. And then same thing, like if I tag in a story, like I've tagged different things, like if I tag Pottery Barn or Martha Stewart, I'll find other people, like I'll go watch Pottery Barn's story and add the people that are also featured in like the Pottery Barn story. I think Sam covered that. And then I will also watch other people's stories that I'm following, because I just think it's a good relationship builder. I get to learn more about them by following their story. So if they're sharing and I'm like, whoa, we are totally not going to vibe, I can go unfollow them. Or if they're sharing and their daughter is so cute, or their son just took his first steps and I really want to connect with them, I can comment to them like right from that story. And I feel like people love when you watch and comment about their stories. Like they're just like immediately it starts like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It's so awesome. You know, they just like love to hear from other people. So now I've missed all these comments.
Sarah, I don't think it necessarily, when you're first growing, is going to always be less people than you follow, whatever. I do believe as you're growing a big account, it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm following 10,000 people and I have 100 people following me. It looks spammy and it looks like you're desperate to get followers. I think that's the biggest thing is people go and they're like, oh, this girl's followed me. Oh, she's followed 10,000 people. Like it looks tacky. I worked with a guy who didn't like, his thing was like follow a bunch of people, see who connects. And I at one point was following more. I'm now back down just because I do think there is a rhythm to, if you're following a lot of people, it looks desperate to Instagram and they kind of like, it's a weird thing with their rhythm. So it's always changing, but I do think there is some clout to having more followers, having enough content that people are coming to your account, you know, even if it's a small trickle in, that you're not just going out and mass following random people just to get a following. Hopefully that makes sense.
I have a question about the new algorithm. Are we doing questions at the end? Are we doing them as we go?
We can do them as we go. Go for it, girl.
So I was reading the last 2 days because I feel like I'm getting more focused towards Instagram, but I go up and down of about 100 followers like every month. Like I'll go up and I'm like, get super excited because I'm like right at the 7,000 mark. So I'm getting close to 10 because I really want the swipe up option. But then I'll lose like 10 or 20 and things like like that. But so I've been trying to do more research on what the new algorithm is saying. And I was just curious if you guys had done any research on, I was reading that the hashtags should be in the body of the picture and not in the comments anymore, as well as like 5 to 7 specific hashtags for that picture as opposed to the 30. And I just was wondering if anyone else had heard that or any other tips on the new algorithm to get our posts more in the newsfeed.
Yeah, so I've done a lot of research because I found out that I was banned, which some people say like isn't even a thing. Other people do. There's basically what getting banned means is that if you use hashtags, your posts will only show up for your followers and not in those hashtags. So if you were to click on hashtag Thursday Vibes, your post wouldn't be showing up in there. And so I did a lot of research on that, and it is true. I think that it used to be use all 30 hashtags and use them in the comments. Now it's like just pick a few. I try and use 10 or less, and I use it in the post. So I'll just do like ... to like make sure it's all the way at the bottom, or I'll try and use them throughout the text of my post. Ideally, that's what I would want to do because it looks less like I'm trying to get new followers. So that's one thing. Also, I try and really only post 2 to 3 times a day. Usually it's 2 times a day. And I'm trying to focus on value rather than just like, hey, here's my biceps for my workout today, or here's my lunch, so I add a little bit more meat to it. But then one of my coaches, Michelle, sent me some other tips. Instagram stories help you pop up more to other people. So use the stories just not only for your existing followers, but to be up at the top of the page. Also following your hashtags. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but you can now follow hashtags just as you would following another account. Mm-hmm. And so that might help you pop up more in those hashtags if you're using them. And then there was one other. Oh, don't use the same hashtag. So kind of like switch them up. I use like 3 or 4 of the same ones every time, but then depending on the post, I might say like afternoon tea if it's a tea post or something like that. That's all I've got.
Yeah, I did go through my Instagram followers a couple months back and probably deleted 2,000 to 3,000. Bye. That sucked. Maybe it was only like 1,000 or so. But I did because they were just like inactive, like junk accounts. So yeah, gone. And then I've heard the same, just like 10, 12 posts, totally relevant to the picture. And of course, like the more specific your hashtag can be, like 5,000, what is it? Like 500,000 and under, like the better chance it is of getting discovered.
Also, I mean, to tag on to that, if you're using hashtags in your stories, use the same hashtags in your pictures for that day. So like Penelope was playing with makeup, so I did makeup tutorial, but I also used that tag on my 3 photos that day. I was wearing makeup in all 3 pictures, but so it's not like somebody was like, but trying to keep them coinciding. Because if people are following that, then your picture is going to pop up. Like if they're following the makeup tutorial stories, it'll pop up with pictures underneath. So they're going to be like, oh, that girl, I watched her story. Oh, it's a picture. So I have found that kind of helps engagement with the following upping. Because Kari, I had that problem too. Sorry. I saw Kari. I'm like, oh, it was Kari that asked that question, right? Yeah. I was having that problem too. I was like, great, yay, up 20, oh, down 10, up 20, down 15. Like, I'm not getting anywhere. But I found that the more cohesive I am with my tags in, like my hashtags in my story to my pictures, that I'm getting more engagement from those people in my stories. And then they're going to my page because so many people now are just following stories and they're not actually going to like my account. So if you use the same hashtags, you have a better chance of them going to your account and following.
Brandy, I think, yes, the 10 hashtags you're using should relate to the photo. Because I think at the end of the day, when people see it, like if it pops up in their feed or under that hashtag, you want it to like relate and not be like, why the hell is this here?
Yeah, if they're searching cute kids and it's a workout video, they're going to be like,
Yeah.
what?
They're gonna
Like,
hate.
no, like this person isn't even a mom. Like, they're trying to gain followers. Again, it's like that tacky, like, okay. Like, you see those pictures that don't fit. If you search a hashtag and you're like, why is that picture in this hashtag, like, column? Like, it makes no sense.
And I think the biggest thing, I mean, I always look at like those first 9 squares on your Instagram, and I'm taking an Instagram course right now, and I'll let you know what I think of it when I'm done. But she basically said like 80% of your content, so 7 out of the 9 squares, should really be about like who you are, and maybe like 1 square is something else that doesn't fit what your bio talks about. You know, it's like a little freebie. But I think that's true, because people kind of do like, what are you? You know, are you into health and fitness? Like you like a total, like, you know, into being like a DIY mom or what? Like, you kind of have to give people like a reason to want to follow you.
And I think having a niche is not a bad thing. So many people are like, oh yeah, but then only moms or only this. I think like that's what you're trying to do. You know, like home improvement bloggers, like all they do, like they might have family, they might have kids, they might have this and that, but all they do on their business account or their blog account is post pictures of homes that are clean and spaces that they're doing, because that's what people are following for. So if you're if it's not my kids, it's the dog.
But yeah,
I think if you
you're a Beachbody coach, so it's not going to be like 24/7 pictures of Shakeology and workouts. I mean, there's other interests you have in there, but I think like your feed kind of has to tell that story.
It's kind of what I struggled with, because I did Shalene's training, and it was like, if you're into fitness, then every post should be a fitness video or a picture of your food or a water chat or like whatever the case was. And coming from Facebook, it's all like, hey, just sprinkle in the fitness slightly, and everything else is what you do in the time, you know? And so I like went and looked at my feed, and it was, you know, sure, I would talk occasionally about, you know, I would show my fitness watch, or I would show me with a sweaty selfie or whatever the case was, but a lot of it was my kids, or, you know, which, I mean, it still is now. I don't really know how to do that, so.
I mean, take a look at Bree's account. I think she does a good job, because it's like,
I can pull it up.
Yeah, it's like family, workouts, food, but she's got a theme. And you'll see it when Leslie shows her screen, but it's like the same coloring, you know, so it's just more cohesive. And I do see some accounts that are like all foodie accounts. It's all food. But if you think of it, we're lifestyle accounts, right? So like a little bit of all areas of our life is cool.
I feel like scattering in your interests, but like also Instagram is that where you're looking for those niche. So like Facebook it was kind of all over the place. Like I would post a recipe, I would post this, I'd post that. But like for Instagram, I do feel like I attract moms that want that pretty fun lifestyle, and I can use Instagram stories to be like, hey, real life, no, I don't want to go on. Like, yeah, my workouts are a hot mess. Mm-hmm. So I can give a really good visual of guys. Like I'm at home, I'm puking my guts out, I'm pregnant, I don't look that cute if it's not a well-lit angled selfie. Like they get a really good idea, and so I don't feel as bad about posing in pictures anymore. Like I don't feel like making my page like white and cohesive like is a lie anymore. I have Instagram stories, and I do try to stick to like main topics. So, you know, you see some accounts where it's like, I think, is it Chelsea Pearson? She used to do like a quote and a selfie and a quote and a selfie. And she always had good content in the body of the post, but it was a very cohesive, like, you know that you could go to Chelsea Pearson's and get some really funny fitness memes, funny quotes, good quotes, like, you know, and fun, smiling, bright selfies. Like, I just knew I could go to her account and be like, like, cool. She's changed it up a little bit now. Or like Jatana, it's like Jatana Jackson is all about like her workout dance videos are like her thing. But she also loves sharing snapshots of her Instagram stories. Like that's her thing, right? People like to glimpse into her Instagram stories, and that's her thing. So she shares that all the time. For me, it's like, yeah, I share the consistent workouts. It kind of gives my feed a cohesiveness because every 3 to 4, pictures is a workout video or a workout post related type thing. But because you have stories, I don't have to share my shake, guys. Like, I don't have to post about my shake because if people are following me, they'll go to my stories, right? Or you can hint in a post that you shared a really great recipe on your stories. You don't have to be spammy with like 70,000 topics and get it all in on your feed. I feel like you can keep it cleaner, keep it neat, keep it organized, and keep it very much to like your top interests. Like if you have 10 interests in life, like narrow it down to 3, 4, maybe 5, and then filter through it. So like my kids are my world. Like fitness, I hate it, but I do it because Beachbody, right? Like it's what keeps me accountable. And I hear that all the time. And people know they can come if they need the motivation and accountability, but they also know I'm not going to be like, hey guys, I'm all about fitness. And the recipe thing, like I don't like to cook. People see it in my Instagram stories. So if I was trying to blow them up with recipes on posts, they'd be like, where's this, like, what is she doing? Like, clearly she didn't make that, whatever. Like, mine are very simple, kid-friendly snacks if I share a recipe or a foodie post. And yeah, you guys see Sam's, like, it's very cohesive with, like, her husband, her trips, like, her traveling, and her fitness. Like, it's very, like, it rotates through and has a rhythm, so people know they are going to find that when they go to your page. If it's all over the place, they're like, I don't know. It's like a puzzle that doesn't make sense. They're like, what is this? I don't understand. They're going to go to your account for one specific thing that they really like. I'm so winded already.
I have 2 other quick tips. One, I don't follow any other coaches for a couple of reasons. One, I used to get blinded by what they were posting about and tried to make my page look like theirs, which was not my brand, and people can see right through that. So I don't follow coaches for that reason, and every time I do, some of my followers, they can see who you follow, I guess. I don't know how, and then I would go and like half my followers would go follow that other person. So if you are inspired by a coach or a few coaches, just know their Instagram name, write it down, and then I'll go like once a day or once a week, and then I'll go to their page to check it out and get inspiration. So that's my little tip there. And also, Shalene talks a lot about curiosity marketing. I never mention the name of anything, and I don't think Leslie or Brie does as well. Like, I never mention Shakeology. I call it my superfood shake. I've never once said 80-day obsession. I call it like my 80-day boot camp or 80-day total body workout. My Energize is just my pre-workout. If I'm doing a specific program like 21 Day Fix, I think just called my 21 Day Boot Camp. Kickboxing workout is what I just referred to for Quarter Force. So yeah, I call my Energize my unicorn juice. Jordan does too. I kind of want things like that because then people will say, what is your unicorn juice? Or I've seen people call it like your mom
crack.
Mom crack. Yeah, things like that. So then people will message you.
The biggest tip I got out of this training so far, and I'll share it with you guys because I redid my bio. So it says, I'm a healthy lifestyle coach, housewife, and CEO, and then tell people what to expect from you. So I'm helping women rock any outfit they wish. If you follow me, what do I like? Clothes and workout gear and live their best life. So I'm really trying to like stick more to that, like talking about being a lifestyle coach. And I talk a lot about like being able to wear cute workout clothes. Like that's a big thing for me. And it's so funny because now I have people filling out applications. And one of like the questions is like, why do you want to be like in this challenge or whatever? And they're like, so I can rock any outfit I wish. And I'm like, it's working. So it's kind of fun, like how they start using your lingo. Cause I talk about that a lot, like in my stories too.
I have a question for you, Leslie, because I've been seeing Alyssa Shoemaker's posts, and in her text, she'll say that, right in there at the very end of whatever she's posting about. She'll say, follow at Alyssa Shoemaker or a real fit house. No, that's you. Whatever her name is. She'll say, follow this for tips on fitness and nutrition. Does your course talk at all about that? Like including it in your post or no?
I'm not there yet. I'm on like module 7 and there's a lot. Like she even gets into like Instagram ads and like, honestly, like what I've watched so far, I feel like we're already doing. So I'm like, okay, hopefully it's going to get better. And it was $200. So I don't want to like tell anyone else to go like buy it yet until like, I'm like, okay, it was really good. Like I literally learned the bio tip and that was like the first thing I've done because my bio was previously like a bit of a hot mess. All right. So should we pick like a couple of accounts here and like dive in?
I was going to share one more tip.
Perfect.
Did we have accounts? I guess we had some girls comment that they want theirs pulled up.
Okay. I was
just going to share with stories really quick before I forget because I've got like major mom brain. I'm already like, what was I going to say? Yeah, I totally forgot. By the time I just said that.
You know, Brandy, I know that Carl and Autumn did a live on this in the 80-day obsession group. And I mean, I kind of get the curiosity marketing, but I'm not ever afraid to like mention that I'm with Beachbody or say Shakeology. I did a live on Facebook today giving away Shakeology while I got ready for the day and talked about like, you know, like having healthy skin. And like I have all these women interested, you know, they're familiar with the name. They want to try it because they've heard of it. So, I mean, would I say like 80-day obsession every day and post like stock photos and links to purchase? Like, I think that's what we want to shy away from, but I don't think there's like in my Instagram story, I don't have a problem saying like 80-day obsession, you know, kicked my butt today or something. Because I think at the end of the day, if you're building that relationship, they're probably going to come buy it from me anyway because they want to be in my group or something. So
yeah, at some point you want them to know that you're offering it, not just doing it. You're not a customer. You're actually a coach. You want to get them involved. So there is like a fine line of, hey, and I think that's a big part, guys, of like what Samantha was saying. Like we were talking about this in a leadership chat is like, reaching out to people is so important. The follow-up is so important because when you go to your Instagram story and you say, maybe there's 20 people that watch your story that day. If you go reach out to every single one of those people, they're going to remember that you reached out. So whether it's a sale that day or next month or in 6 months, the fact that you reach out and the fact that you're going to connect with them and then follow up with them and keep checking on them and liking their photos, that's what counts because I get people a lot of the time going, hey, can you be my coach? And they're already doing Beachbody On Demand. They don't even know if they have a coach. I'm like, are you working with somebody? Like, there are a lot of people that are like, I want to be connected with you because I see you're actually doing the things that like I was promised, you know, a coach was going to do. So don't be persuaded to like completely like, oh, hi, like I'm not a coach. No, I'm not selling you anything. Like, I think it's more just like, you don't have to spam like your Shakeology cup. You don't have to spam your DVD pictures or whatever. You can still share like I am a coach, you know, if you want to call it wellness coaching or you want to say Beachbody coach, whatever, it's okay to like say that stuff. I think there's like a line, you know, Autumn and Carl, you don't have to hashtag 21 Day Fix, hashtag coach, hashtag Beachbody, hashtag whatever. So there's a little line, but I think you'll feel uncomfortable if you have a bunch of coaches follow. You'll be able to see like, oh, okay, so yay, 20 new likes or comments or followers and they're all coaches. Maybe I need to switch up my hashtag so it's not just coaches searching my hashtag. You'll be able to see pretty quickly. And I was going to say, I know what I was saying, the story thing. When you go and you see people who are watching your story, something as simple as sending a copy-paste message. I know Samantha was saying, you know, you can go to their account. If you don't have time, like I sit in my car before I go in to pick my kiddo up from school. P watches the iPad in their car seat, and I'm like, I send this to literally probably like as many until it says like I can't send anymore. I'm like, cool, well, I'm shut down for like 5 hours anyway because I've got my kids. Like if I can't send anymore. But I just send a very simple, hey girl, I saw you check out my stories. Not sure if you watched the whole thing. I post a lot about fitness, my journey with eating disorders. I wish I had it pulled up. my journey with eating disorders and fitness and kiddos on my page. Check it out. And I put my @blushing confidence, because people don't realize, like, we're not all tech smart. Like, people don't realize you can click and go to this person's account, right? If they've searched your through hashtag or whatever. So I'm just like, would love for you to follow along my journey and get to know you better. And then I put my link to my Instagram, and it's just a quick DM. I don't track those people. Like, I don't know, you know, if they're going to go follow, but I do find that it keeps my rate of new followers coming in, because they're like, oh, she's got content, she's got a page, she does post her workouts. You know, I tease people on my Instagram stories about, like, hey, you want the moves of the day? And then I'll be like, go comment your favorite workout gear. You know, so you get engagement on your post, and vice versa. On my post, I'm like, if I just do a selfie, I'm like, go get the workout moves in my story. So get people, like, interacting. So that was my tip, is like, you're getting people to watch your stories, you're getting your views up, as well as from your stories, you're reaching out and saying, hey, I post, if you like this content, I post a lot about this on my page @blushing confidence. Like, that's what I say, so that people actually know to click on it and then follow. And, like, you can follow so you can see my stuff. So.
Yep. All right. I think, should we just kind of start doing like some rapid fire account reviews? I just feel like I'll start, like, we'll just start. I'll just randomly start and we'll go. Okay. So I think, whose was this? Jackie. Can everyone see it? Sorry, it's loading slow. I don't know if it's my internet or what. The first, can you guys all hear me? I think the first big thing is, like, there's no link to contact you, at least from here, anywhere else. Like, to fill out an application, to email you, to find your blog. That was just the first thing I noticed. Or Linktree, or whatever you decide to use.
I have a video on how to make Linktree and forms under Instagram photo albums, so you can go watch it, so you know how to add multiple links in one little bio link. I like the pictures.
I know. I feel like you have, like, good continuity. I know we really can't look at 9 at a time.
The only thing I would say, I would just say, like, maybe a little more variety than selfies. I think selfies are great, but also, like, maybe a little more variety of you with something, you know, like, more content behind the selfies. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Let me see if I'm missing any.
I think somebody asked a question too. Do you notice brightness or whiteness in photos?
Yeah. I saw that.
Somebody asked that?
Yeah, someone said, do you feel like you get more likes with, like, a whiter photo?
I have watched some trainings from social media people that say either blue or white in pictures stand out and get more engagement. I have noticed the more white a photo, or if I put a blue hue, or take the yellow out of my pictures, that I do get more likes. I mean, that's just for me going and looking at my pictures, and you can click, if you have a business, if you have it set as business, you can click stats. I always end up with more likes on pictures that I do this to. I used to have, if you scroll back, like, I started the whole blushing confidence and I had a pink filter on everything. And now I have more likes with it being more like a clear, less pink, less yellow. So I would say yes. I think the biggest thing is clear and bright. So if it's a dark room, don't take a picture. Take extra pictures. If you have badly lit house, take extra pictures. Change your shirt outside, you know, a couple times. So
Yep.
You're not lying. Like, if you do your workout that day and you have to use a selfie that was, like, from the day before in a different sports bra, whatever, like, use bright content, because I think it grabs people's attention. If you have bad lighting, don't use that as an excuse to post a bad picture. I always find the light. If I have to go to my front door, I will. Like, I use video shop. So even for my videos, Like my workout videos are kind of dingy because I work out in my basement and I don't have good lighting. So I always use Video Shop, and you can put all your video clips in and like put it together, right? And so then I add a photo where I've gone upstairs in my sweaty, messy self, and I've gone by my door and taken a better photo. I'm in my workout outfit, all that good stuff. I don't look perfect, and I don't filter my face to look like, you know, no marks or anything on it, but it is a better lit picture, and I put that as the front cover of my video. So even though my video is a little bit darker, at least that first picture that pops up and is going to be placed into my story or feed is bright. So that's just like a tip. Go outside really quick, even if it's freezing. Take it against your garage door. That's like a huge, like, somebody has a garage, right? Your neighbor, somebody has a white garage door. You can snap a picture. Like my neighbor's probably creeped out because they have a really pretty like hydrangea bush. I always am like creeping over there. I'm like, babe, take my picture quick in this cute outfit. Like they're probably like, you guys don't have hydrangeas. Like, what? But it's just like, I mean, you know, she's a coach on our team, so it's fine. But
And I know the one other thing I noticed, your username is searchable. So you can always use like Jakey, if you wanted to pick like something, as long as you put the space at the bottom, right? You can make it searchable, which I know like Anita switched hers for that reason and stuff. So like she's like, is it happy_fit_mom, right? So if you're searching happy or fit on Instagram, it starts to pop up. All right. Like see, Jess is another. Jess rocks fit. So Jessica, you're next, girlfriend. Oh, did I miss it? She's got a link tree. I think the biggest thing I've learned about bios is what are they going to get from you? Like, what should they expect? You know, like what's their takeaway from following you?
And going back to like those videos, you can easily make, like you can go to what you want the cover photo to look like, and that makes a huge difference on people watching it. So even if you don't do, like I actually go take a standing still photo and I place it in the front of my videos. You can see like my last video from today, like it's an actual picture that's placed, that's like a 2-second clip at the beginning of my video so that it's like on my cover. But even if you make a video, so like that workout is at a video right by her before after, it's like, okay, awkward pose, and everybody's like, oh, the YouTube screenshots, right? Like they're really awkward and weird. You get to pick like what you want it to look like. So if there's a part in the video where actually you're up by the camera more, the lighting is better, or put a photo on the front. That's all I would say, is just, you know, be aware of like, I don't want that awkward like butt shot just because I was doing squats, or I don't want that weird like roll and tuck and weird double chin just because that's what comes up when I post the video. So be aware of that, guys, when you're doing videos, is that you can slide through the video, or you can add a picture at the beginning in an app before loading so that it keeps your feed clean and pretty.
Yeah, otherwise I think you have like good content. Like you can definitely tell like the healthy eating, you're working out, like self-care. Like, I mean, I definitely get all of that here. And I can't, like, you definitely have like more like that dark filter vibe, which I think is fine. Like at the end of the day, I think continuity is like the best thing. Okay. Let me scroll up and grab someone.
Hey, while you girls are searching, is it possible to like give us tips on how you take such nice selfies and just pictures in general? Like we talked about lighting a little bit, but do you guys use any sort of other devices to help make that look the way it does? Because it seems like you guys are on another level from what the rest of us are on.
Lots of practice.
Practice.
Like that picture in my feed,
Yes.
like there's 50 pictures in my camera roll right now that I was like, nope, like, and it was me with like eye patches on, and I still am like, about this real life, like I still wanted a good angle, still wanted good lighting. If I was gonna look like crap, like, and talk about looking like crap, it was gonna be a good angle. So I think just practicing, always find the light, like literally just find the light. It makes all the difference.
Yeah, natural lighting is like the best. I wouldn't even say like I have a big light on in here tonight because it's dark, but natural light is the best. And then like play with angles. Like if you took your last selfie from up here, like try some, like just play with like angles or how you sit. I also have a case that lets me like prop it up so I can like take a photo and not be holding the phone. Like I can use like a little, I ordered like a $4 clicker from Amazon. Yeah. So I can like take my own photo, and I have it's not in my office right now, but I have a $9 tripod also from Amazon. Just so I can like prop it up and get a different angle or whatever.
This guy, if you guys have bad lighting, get a ring light off Amazon. Yep. I think anything that looks cluttered in the back. So like right now, obviously, like I have books and crap. Like if I was going to take a picture, I'd be like, okay, much better, right? Like, just be aware, like we've all taken those bathroom selfies with the toilet in the background, but like, just be aware of like, yeah, the kids can be playing in the background, but hey, throw those blocks out of the way, or that laundry, like throw it to the side. Like, it just creates like less distraction from what you're trying to talk about. It's not trying to say, oh, my house is perfect, because again, I'm sharing in my stories. They see my unmade bed, like they know. But for sake of scroll and stop, like make it bright, make it clean, make the background less cluttered. You can blur the background with, what is it? I mean, I'm sure there's more than one. Facetune. Yeah, and then somebody asked what app I usually use. I usually just use
After Focus too. After Focus will let you blur the background.
Yep. And then Darkroom, somebody asked what app I use. So Darkroom is usually what I use. Samantha, I think I told you about that in London, where you can take color out of the picture without taking saturation out. So if that makes sense, like I have really yellow light bulbs in our house right now. So actually if any picture I take is yellow, like super, super yellow, it doesn't matter. Like all my pictures, my couch is white, it looks yellow. So I use Darkroom. You can take out blue, you can take out yellow, and take that particular color saturation down without taking your saturation of the picture down. So you can keep the quality, keep the shine and the brightness, and you can brighten your picture, all that good stuff. But that's how I take just yellow out, because my house is yellow. So you can play around with different apps to get a color, a feed you like. I mean, you can use filters. I don't use a filter. I always just brighten and whiten. So I don't actually use a filter on any of my pictures. So that's kind of my thing, is no filter. But I do like mess with the editing to brighten them.
Jess, I like yours. You're doing a good job. Like, look at this. Like, I just love to look at like 9 pictures together. Like, that looks pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I definitely get.
And it makes me want to like get to know you. Like, I'm interested in like, okay, is that your dog? Do you do dog rescue stuff? Like, fitness. Like, there's different things that make you go, okay, I want to ask this girl questions, or I want to see what she's doing.
Yeah. And it does. I mean, it says, island living. Yeah. No, so you kind of like get it. No, I think you're doing a good job. Okay, I'm going to try and run through a few more here. Okay, Carrie.
Jessica, I used to stand in front of my fridge too. We had a split level, tiny house, no lighting, barely any windows or doors. I don't even know how you got in the house sometimes. Like, there's no way to get in or out. There was nothing. So I always stood in front of my fridge and then took the yellow contrast out. So if you have that excuse, you have a fridge with great lighting, guys.
Yes.
I used to have Aaron hold a white sheet behind me.
That helps too. That helps too. Someone else gave me that tip. Like, even if you're taking a picture of your food, like put a plain white piece of paper in front of like you and your plate, and that white light like just reflects back on your plate. Your food makes everything brighter and pop. Like
for food pictures, guys, don't take sloppy food pictures. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. But like, have a plate. Like, I don't even have white dishes right now, but like, I wish I did. So I went and bought a freaking white dish just for when I wanted to post pictures on Instagram. Like, that's how dedicated I am. Like, buy a cute coffee mug, even if like when you're a tea drinker, coffee drinker, your pre-workout, post-workout, whatever, buy a cute cup, buy a cute plate, like buy a square of fabric from Hobby Lobby, like buffalo checked square fabric. Like, I don't care, you know, if it's this big, you know, it makes a big difference. If you're like a foodie post person and you have the same background and the same plate with every dish, people are like, this girl knows what she's talking about. I want to go back to that. You know, it's like a cohesive look on your feed.
You guys are all doing really good. Carrie, I feel like all of your filters look like it all looks good together.
Yeah, I agree. I think another thing, if you guys are posting, come up with engagement questions into your content, because comments go a long way right now.
And you're getting on some, you're getting like good engagement. And same thing as Facebook, like go, like if you see someone like start to comment, like go back and comment back to them, because it bumps you up in the Instagram feed.
They're like, oh, they know each other. Oh, they're connecting. Like, this is not a bot. This is not fake. Like, this is relationship.
I'm going to try and fly through a few more of these. Damn, girl, look at that before and after.
Another thing, if you guys have like limited before afters, if you guys are using your before afters to share a call to action post, like the whole drop your email, that kind of thing. If you guys scroll my feed, you should only see one, maybe double of my before after at all times. I go and delete. If I repost my before after, I make sure that the one before is deleted, unless it's something else or the topic is different. Because I really have, like right now being pregnant, I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing this workout and I'm actually getting bigger. So I'm using like past before after pictures that I've posted before. So I don't want someone new to come and see every 9 pictures I've posted my before after, right? Like, I just delete and then I repost my pictures. So I've hopefully gained some new followers in the last 30 days. I post my before after, you know, and I make sure that like same with call to actions to business. I've posted one, like an income post before, and I've deleted that and then remade it like 60 days later. So that way when people are scrolling, they're not like, oh, this girl made this post. Oh, this girl made this post like 20 times.
Lisa, I think you're doing a really good job. I mean, the whole like black, white, like food, fitness, like you got it going on. I think for most everyone, it's just like working the hashtags, tagging your location. Like you can tag your location in a picture, and you can also tag so I will tag like the rubber gym flooring in, like I will tag the manufacturer, because people always ask me like who my rubber flooring in our gym is by, and they have since like used my photo in some of their pictures. And then I will tag like the sports bra I'm wearing and the pants and the shoes, because it ends up showing up in other places. So, and I even had like Lorna Jane comment back. They were like, way to go, girl. We're in your corner. And I was like, Lorna Jane just commented on my post. So like things like that, you can go in and like tag different. I mean, I wouldn't tag everyone, but you like if you're wearing something or holding something that you love or whatever, you could tag it.
Yeah, and if you're a mom, like there are mom blog pages that are looking for moms to shout out. So like for me right now, Inspire Pregnancy, I tag in everything because it's a page committed to sharing pregnancy journeys. So like if there's certain like dog pages or whatever, like they're actually like they get their content from users who are tagging them, you know? So find some pages. It's kind of like Facebook when you're in groups, like the old school, you know, groups on Facebook. Like Instagram is now like you want your pictures featured, you tag them and hashtag them, right?
And okay, so we're on Sarah's page now, and I'll just like show you because she's doing different pictures, right? Like different angles. Like here, she's holding her phone more up. Here, she's looking down. Like it's all pictures of her, but it's not the same picture of her, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, prop it in different areas, prop it up, prop it down, prop it over, like set the timer, get the clicker. Go to different rooms in your house, even if it's not the room you worked out in, guys. Like, Freddie says, choose a guy. I need to see what it looks like to have an idea. What guys do we have on our team?
Yeah, who's got a guy?
Freddie, what's your IG handle?
Yeah, is there I
Rachel asked about shout-outs. I need to make glasses on. Rachel asked, do any of you use shout-out things with your
Yeah, like where you pay someone to like have your picture up for an hour or whatever?
I feel like that's going to be like Instagram 2.0, and maybe we'll have
that's a lot.
and Rena do that.
I do use shout outs though. So simple answer, yes. And I think we posted about it in the team page.
It is in the team
page. But I
page.
wouldn't recommend just going and paying a bunch of money, guys. Like if you guys there's 57 coaches. So maybe we should do a training on that because I wouldn't just go to any page and be like, oh, they want $500 for shout outs. So, but yeah, I do shout outs probably once or twice a month.
And I think like doing a trade, I know we've talked about this before, but doing a trade, like if you find an account similar to yours, so we'll use Sarah as an example, like if she could trade with an account that maybe has like 900 to 1,000 followers, they each shout each other out, but you don't want to be competing, right? So you're not going to shout out another Beachbody coach, but maybe it's another, you know, a nurse or another dog mom, and they agreed to do a trade in their Instagram stories or something to shout each other out, tag each other. And you can get new followers like that.
Yeah, if you guys watch my stories, I do a Friends I Love Friday, and I always just find an account that I've followed, and I reach out to them. I'm like, hey, girl, I love your page. I think my followers would love your page. Would you want to give me a shout out on your stories? I'll shout you out on mine on Friday. I like to try to do it first so they see exactly what I want them to do for me, because a lot of them are just like girls that are on Instagram that have good following. I've got a girl that's local that I just did it with on Friday, and I gained 300 followers because she's a nurse. She's into fitness. She loves Radon. She does not use her Instagram for business. Doesn't care, like doesn't want to coach. She's in school, like doesn't care. But she's got 11,000 followers. And I was like, girl, you built that organically just because people want to watch your fitness. Bring them my way. Like, so if you find accounts with similar following numbers, like you're not going to go to a mom blogger that has 100,000 if you've got 1,000 and be like expecting them to shout you out. But find somebody that's similar and be like, you know, if it's just a mom with 600 to, you know, 800 followers, 100 followers, whatever, you know, if they make a post about you or talk about you in their stories, their friends are going to be like, oh, cool. Well, if Rachel likes them, I guess I'll check them out, right? And I do it every Friday. I just pick a girl and I'm like, hey, I just love your page. Would you want to like trade and talk about each other on our stories on Friday? They're like, cool, sure. Like,
Caitlin, I love your page. I think you have really fun colors.
Yeah, I like the colors.
I love it. And
another thing too, guys, is business accounts like tank tops, t-shirts. If you guys are buying stuff, like go to accounts or like small Etsy shops. Like I literally have no shame. I'm like, hey, would you want to send me your product for free? I'll like shout you out. I'll do a post. Like now I have a ton of businesses coming to me asking for collabs, but like if you're a smaller account, just be like, you know, I would love to sample your product, or I've bought your product before. I would love to share you guys. Could I get a shout out or something like that, where it's like, you know, shouting out a t-shirt you bought or shouting out whatever it is, shoes or whatever from Etsy or a craft or a pillow. I'm working like on a collab with like a home decor company, and they're sending me pillows and blankets. I'm going to throw them on my couch and be like, guys, I love this brand, right? And then they're going to use my picture on their feed. So
how can
I don't think an Instagram has to be one color.
Caitlin, I was going to say, if you wanted, this could be your username. You can leave it Caitlin Zuko, or you could make it fit_feisty and then put Caitlin Zuko down here as like your name, you know, because Facebook or Instagram gives you both. You can have your name and your username, and then you're searchable by both. Because I know you're fit and feisty on Facebook. So if someone wants to find you over here, I don't know if you've searched to see if they can find you both ways, but I was trying to like draw and I did not make that work. So, all right. Anyone? Oh my gosh, 15 new messages. I can't keep up. All right. You guys want, should I find a man? Is that what you want? A guy?
Yeah. Someone said Patrick.
All right. I know Patrick. Let's go see if he's got one.
Freddie also gave us his name too somewhere.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Let's go.
No, do Pearson, Rob Pearson.
Oh, okay. I'll go do his next. But you know, Patrick's got a following.
So whatever that post was.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that post was, but
for the most part, it seems
this
like
one,
he's a fun guy.
I want to take that one down. I don't know what that's about, though. Okay. Sorry,
well,
Rob.
I had a ton of comments. I think it was a meme video. I think it was like just a bad, again, guys, example of a bad upload of the cover photo.
Is that, do you know?
I think it's Rob with 2 B's.
Is it? Okay, because I'm like, that's not him.
Too. Rob,
Oh,
yeah.
It's, okay.
Yeah, you see, so Chelsea used to do this with like, see, like all the one column. She's gone back to not doing that, but like she used to do, I think hers was like every other or whatever, so it made a diagonal.
And I mean,
again,
obviously,
you see, like,
it's a lot of them together.
I tried to do that and I screwed it up. I don't know, with like one posting, and I didn't realize it until a whole bunch of people had commented or liked it, and I was like, frick it, whatever.
And then you can't delete it, and then you have to start all over. Yeah, it wasn't working for me. Mine was like my foodie posts were all like I had like a food post ever like down, and then I was like I didn't have enough food posts because I'm not a cook. Like I can't keep up with this. It wasn't.
I think that's really fun, and I've tried to do that too. Like where everything was like in one column, and then I just was like, never mind. I like workout.
Some people do like black and white pictures down the middle, so like their whole middle column is all black and white, and the outside are color. Guys, I wouldn't get too hung up on that though. Like a lot of people that do really well don't take the time to strategize like that. Chelsea and Rob don't have kids yet. Yes, they have 4 Pomeranians, but like they don't got kids yet.
Right.
So I wouldn't make that be your biggest thing for the training of the night. Like bright, yes, be
right.
aware of your surroundings.
I think the biggest like continuity, like be thoughtful, like of your feed. Like you wouldn't post like almost 2 of the same selfies right next to each other. Like break it up, do a different picture in between. And like the picture you take today doesn't have to be the picture you post on Instagram today. Like if it makes sense with like the coloring on your Instagram or whatever to post it like 2 photos later or whatever, you can do that.
Yeah, or if you're having like a good hair day and makeup day,
take many
like
photos.
times if you need backup.
Then take many photos.
If my kids look cute, I take them outside and sit them on the porch and take a picture and store it up. Like, my kids don't look cute 90% of the time. You got to take advantage of the moment.
Okay.
Jess, that's what I did when I worked. Like, I would literally on Saturdays, like, take 7 sweaty, like, not sweaty, but like workout outfit pictures. Because in the morning when I did my workout, I didn't have time to put a video together and take a selfie and whatever. Like, I picked 7 outfits out like Leslie does, like picked my outfits out for the week, put them all on, took pictures, and then when I got to work after I like sat down for a minute, I would post my workout of the day. But it was actually a picture I had taken on Saturday. So if you guys are working, just think smart. Like, how can I like store up pictures, you know?
Kari said she was doing a bunch of black and white. Did she post her account? Okay, I'll look it up. But yeah, she said she didn't want her best pictures to be all in black and white, which I get. Oh my gosh, I love your colors. Do you like neon green?
Yeah, Kari has like the neon green in all her feet. It's so cute.
So cute.
Like,
and I like you look at the 9 pictures here, and I like how like the picture in the top right is like opposite the picture in the bottom left. Like, I like feeds that like kind of have balance like that.
Yeah, if you guys like muted colors, or you like end up posting a picture and you really like it and it's bright, you know, after like 2 or 3 posts, do another bright one, and it just kind of like feeds in. So there's like a rhythm to it.
How long ago were you doing black and white? I might have to go back a ways.
If you see the middle column,
I
it's
can
like
see.
almost
I'm
black
like,
and white, but not all the way.
Yep. No, I mean, I love the color. I think it's kind of a fun pop.
I like your bio. I think it describes you well, like what you used to be, where you're at, what you do.
Yep.
I think it like has your interests. I mean, you could put a little more personality maybe as far as because you like tats, bright hair, or whatever. But I mean, I think for the most part, it's good.
No, I like it. Stacy said hers is really bright too. So let's go check it out. Girl, you have abs.
Her
Send me your abs, thanks. But no, you're doing a good job. Like in a mix of like selfies and shots. Good food.
Kari, the only thing I would say is I clicked on your link tree, and like there's no like I want info on your wellness group or challenge group. It's kind of like shop or want to get fit and paid for it. So maybe I don't know if like you just want to sign everybody up as a coach, but maybe like an option on like a little less like don't sign me up, like a little more like info on, or like for a challenge group, or like a more simple form. Because I think if I was like, I saw her talking about her groups, like I wouldn't know which one to click on. If you were like, go to my bio, I wouldn't know what to click on. Except for maybe the learn about us. So that would be my only thing.
Okay. I feel like I got a lot of these, you guys. We went through a lot. I feel like we could do this all night. But I hope that helps, like lots of good tips and ideas.
Yeah, I think it was just to get ideas, guys. Like, it's not like go change everything you're doing or now you're doing everything wrong. I think it's just like to tweak it a little and be aware that like you can reach out to the people that are, you know, connecting. You can make the first step in connecting. You know, it's not like waiting for somebody. You guys see we post like drop your email and then it's like crickets. It's just consistency for that. Like, I posted for 2 years when Anita's like, post and ask for emails or post and say, you know, comment if you want details. Like, I posted for 2 years and nobody commented for details. You know, I was like, hey, I noticed you may have stumbled upon my picture and liked it. Was that a mistake, or do you actually, would you like some info? Like, I never got comments, guys. Now I get emails, right? Because I built that. But don't think by posting one time and not getting comments that you're doing something wrong. It's the consistency of every 30 days offering it and saying, hey, I'm still doing this. Hey, I'm still around. I'm still offering it. I'm doing another group. Like, the consistency starts to then pay off.
Well, and I think it's even easier when people realize like you're being really consistent with what you're doing and sharing. Like, they don't come to your Instagram and wonder what the heck you're about, because in like those first 9 to 12 squares, you're like really telling them your story. What are your thoughts on bios having sentences versus descriptions? I talked about that a little bit. I got rid of my description and made mine tell you a bit more about who I am, like healthy lifestyle coach. Like, it's a little bit longer. And I mean, like, and then telling people like what you're going to give them, right?
Yeah, if they read that, they should know, like, in a glimpse what those 9 pictures are going to be about or what they're going to see, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, is it worth my time to follow this account? Like,
Hey Bree, I'm messing around on Darkroom right now. Maybe I'm just like, I need to take time to understand it, but do you have like one that you pretty much preset for yourself, and does it save it and then you use it, or do you edit every single picture like with the light and all that?
I just use the editing feature. So I go into the main and I brighten it up, and then I go to the 3 dots and I click the yellow and I take the yellow out. So, okay. But you can preset. I think you can actually preset, I'm pretty sure. It's not in Darkroom though. It's in Snapseed or Visco. There is one where you can preset, and I do have a preset. But in Darkroom, I don't know if you can preset, or I just pretty simply, I mean, I don't use a filter, so I just pretty simply bring up the brightness, take the yellow out, and then I go finish it in Instagram. Okay. But I think is Snapseed the one I think that you can save? There is one that you can save.
Okay, thanks.
I know somebody asked back, if you guys don't know, it's hype type in Instagram stories. Did somebody say that? Somebody was like, how do you get the moving letters? It's called animated text, and it's called hype type is the app. Hype type. I'll take it up because I know somebody asked that way back.
Olga said, who here is focusing on IG and a like page and a personal page? It's a lot. I will tell you, I kind of had to like let one go. So I am Instagram and my like page for the most part. And I just tag myself from my personal page on my like page. And
yeah, the exact same thing.
And I mean, the biggest thing is like my like page. I mean, if you have one, I have a like page. I've spent money over there. I have a following over there. I mean, I can have an unlimited number of friends there. Like where Facebook, personal page, I can only have 5,000. I know Facebook is favoring personal connections, but it's not like I can't still, add friends or build relationships and send messages through my personal page. I can, but it's just like a sake of time, insanity at this point.
I think and when you max out too, it's kind of like, they're going to see your stuff they know. So if you're tagging your business page, but I do think like you have to kind of find what's priority. Like if you guys are doing all this on Instagram, there's no reason to have to go build 7 other social media platforms. Like from Instagram, I take them to email. So I have a backup and can connect with them. And I do have Facebook groups, but like for the most part, it's Instagram. And if I'm like too lazy to post my workout video on both places, in my Instagram stories, I like use the swipe up feature, but most of you guys aren't going to have that yet. You're not at that place. So, if you want to talk about like, hey, I have a like page where I share bigger posts, or like I say, check out my blog. It's my like page. I'm like, swipe up to read more of my story. And I share my story on my like page, but focus on one thing. Like at this point, when you're growing your business, don't be like putting so many, like, don't feel.
Yeah, I think as long as they have like the same brand between both. And yeah, like I just mentioned in my story today, I was like, I went live sharing like my 5 quick minute face. Plus I'm doing a giveaway. So go watch if you want to win. So like just, and then it was like a swipe up, but and I also did put, cause not all swipe up works to go to Facebook on Insta stories. Cause you have to like log in through Facebook. But anyway, you can just put like facebook.com/whatever your page is and go send them there to watch your live or check out your last post too. Are we good? I'm ready for bed now. It's going to be a long one to upload. All right.
And you guys, if you want the short Instagram of this training, like go to the Instagram photo albums. Like Sam has made a video on all this. I've made videos on all these shortened down. So don't go watch this again. Just go watch like those little videos to get the tips. And I'll try to compile a list of everything we talked about, like the filter wise and apps and stuff. We can kind of compile a list and I'll post it.
Yes, perfect. All right. Thank you guys. Everyone have a good night. Bye.